Hi, this is King of Review. Find the points of intersection between y equals 2x plus 4 and x squared plus y squared equals 8. So one method for solving this problem is to use substitution. This first equation is y equals 2x plus 4. What I'm going to do is substitute the 2x plus 4 into the second equation for y right here. So what does this look like? We have x squared plus y squared equals 8. Notice I left a blank space for y. So now I'm going to substitute the 2x plus 4 for y. So that goes here in the parentheses, 2x plus 4. Now I'm going to expand this portion. I have x squared plus 2x plus 4 times 2x plus 4 equals 8. Now I have x squared plus, and I'll use FOIL to solve this portion, 4x squared plus 8x plus 8x plus 16 equals 8. Now let's combine like terms. 5x squared plus 16x plus 16 equals 8. I want a 0 on one side of the equation, so let's move the 8 over to the left-hand side. So I'll subtract an 8 on both sides. Now I have 5x squared plus 16x plus 8 equals 0. This equation is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. When I have an equation in this form, I can use the quadratic equation to solve for x. The quadratic equation is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and this is all divided by 2a. The a, b, and c values come from these numbers here. So on our equation, a equals 5, b equals 16, and c equals 8. Let's plug these three values into the quadratic equation. I get x equals negative 16 plus or minus the square root of 16 squared minus 4 times 5 times 8, and this is all divided by 2 times 5. When you simplify, you get negative 16 plus or minus the square root of 96, and this is divided by 10. So we'll have two values for x. One will be calculated using this plus sign, and the other is calculated using the negative sign. So use your calculators to solve for x. The first value is x equals negative 0.62. And our second x value is x equals negative 2.58. So here are the two x values. These represent the x coordinates of the points of intersection. So you can see we have 2 points of intersection because we have the two x values. Now we need to find the y coordinates of these points of intersection. To do this, you can plug in these x values to either one of these two equations and solve for y. I'm going to choose this first equation. That's y equals 2x plus 4. So our first x value is f of negative 0.62. This equals 2 times negative 0.62 plus 4, and this is 2.76. So I have a point of intersection at negative 0.62, 2.76. This is my first point of intersection. Now plug in the second x value, f of negative 2.58. This is 2 times negative 2.58 plus 4, and this equals negative 1.16. So I have a point of intersection at negative 2.58, negative 1.16. This is my second point of intersection. So letter B is correct. Now you can solve this by substitution, which is what we just did, or you can solve it by graphing. You can plug each of these equations into your graphing calculator and see where they intersect, or you can also graph them by hand. So let's do a rough plot of these two graphs. The first equation, y equals 2x plus 4, this is a line. We know it's a line because it's in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So the slope, which is m, is 2, and the y-intercept, which is b, that's 4. So let's plot this. Here's my x-axis and my y-axis. Okay, so we have a y-intercept of 4. This means it crosses over the y-axis at 4. So let's put a point right there. And m is equal to 2. That's this position here, 2. That's the slope. So that means up 2 over 1. So we have another point right here. So now we can use these 2 points to draw in a line. So here's the line here. And now let's look at this equation here. X squared plus y squared equals 8. We know that this is a circle because it's in the form x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is the radius. This circle has a center at the origin, and we can also figure out the radius. The radius is the square root of 8. And if you work this out on your calculator, it's about 2.8. So this means we have a center of the circle at the origin, and the radius is about 2.8. So we can draw in our circle based on this information. So I'll draw the circle in red. So the radius is 2.8. So it's going to look something like this. This is a rough drawing here. So we have 2 points of intersection. So it intersects right about here, and it intersects right here, somewhere in here. So there are multiple ways to solve this problem. I showed you substitution, which is solving it algebraically, and then by graphing. And you would get a more accurate graph if you used graph paper or your graphing calculator, and your graphing calculator has a feature to find the intersection points. Thanks for watching.